Hi folks, welcome back to the channel and another flight with SimPilot 2450. Today we have a fun GA flight in the Black Square Baron. We're in Washington State. We'll be flying from Darrington Municipal Airport to Orcas Island. This is a fun little area in Washington to fly. I'm sure many of you have flown in this area. Very scenic. It's just a great little place to fly. Let's get started. Welcome to the little town of Darrington. As with all flights with SimPilot 2450, we feature custom sceneries. And today we'll be featuring custom sceneries by Orbx for both Darrington and Orcas Island. So right now we're looking at the little town of Darrington. It's a small lumber town with a population of about 1,500. We'll pan around the area here and show you some of the scenery from above. As you'll see, it's just a beautiful, beautiful area. Just a fabulous place to fly. Let's get down to the airport. We'll take a cruise around the airport here, show you some of the scenery. Flying around Washington State and in this area, of course the mountains, a lot of the mountains you're seeing are volcanoes. The closest one is Mountain Baker. Lots of glaciers on these mountains. So we'll take a little run down the taxiway here to the end of the runway, and then we'll jump in the cockpit. Just show you some more of the scenery. Nice little airport though. Very nice approaches because of the mountains around. You definitely have to fly the aircraft all the way in. It's not just a little ILS that you're flying straight in. You've got to do some maneuvering for this airport. So there's a good peek at the airport. Let's get back to our aircraft and we'll get started. So we are in the cockpit of the Baron G58, and this is the Black Square version. You notice the analog instruments rather than the glass cockpit. They've done an excellent job. They have taken this aircraft and have made it almost study level. So it's really a fun little aircraft to fly. Get the yoke out of the way for us. If I can find my mouse, where are you? There we go. Okay, so our parking brake is set. Gear selector is down. Cowl flaps, we're going to want to open those. They're open. Fuel selectors are on. So we'll come on with the battery, alternators. We have 3 green. We'll come on with our nav and beacon. Check our propeller area. Looking good. We've got our window down to get a little air in here. So we're going to come full throttle. Propellers are coming full, our mixture's coming full. And what we'll do is we'll start the left engine first. Turn the boost pump on. Take the left throttle. Bring it up to full. See, we're getting some fuel flow here. Do that for about 10 seconds. Bring it back. Turn off the fuel pump. Crack the throttle. Check our propeller area. Clear prop. Check our engine instruments. Looking good. Alright, we'll do the same procedure for the right engine. So we'll come on with the fuel boost pump. Bring the throttle in. See, we've got some flow here. Approximately 10 seconds. Bring the throttle back. Turn off our boost pump. Crack the throttle. Check the prop area again. Clear prop. There. So we'll let the engine warm up a little bit. We'll turn the radios on, but we're really not going to use them today, at least not for navigation. So we can put in a flight plan if you'd like, but we're really not going to follow the track. We'll fly this completely visually. So KORS, what we're looking for. So 58 nautical miles. So let's come off with a parking brake. Come on with our taxi lights. Check the areas, looking good. Baron is a fun aircraft to fly. It's a fairly high performance aircraft. We will probably climb to, I don't know, an altitude of 2,500, because we're not going to follow the valley completely out to the ocean. We will cut across the land a little bit. We're going to need a little bit of altitude. So let's go ahead and we'll set our altitude at 2,500. Our altimeter is set. DG is set. And engine instruments are looking good. really enjoy flying in this area. I'll probably do a few more flights in this area just to share with you because the scenery is so beautiful. We'll stop short of the runway. We'll do a quick run up. So we'll set our parking brake. Let's bring our RPMs up to about 1700. We'll close our window so it's not quite as loud. There's 1700. Check the mags on the left. Those look good. Right engine. Looks good. And let's cycle our props. Engine. Okay, things look good. Check our trim, we're all set there. We're not going to use any flaps today. Alright, everything looks good. Engine instruments are good. Let's check final. Everything looks good here. Let's go ahead and take the runway. We'll contact ATC. We'll get on the radios and tell everyone what our intentions are. We're departing to the west.
1 Sierra 2 traffic Baron 2450 taking off runway 10 departure to the west.
Of course we're taking off 28, but that's alright. So you see a nice narrow little runway. Let's get lined up on center line. Again, a final scan to make sure everything is looking good. We're all set. So we will rotate at about 85 knots. We're not using any flaps today. And we'll climb out at about 130, 135. So we'll come in with the throttles very smoothly. Nice and gentle. Is full throttle. Maintain directional control. 60 knots is 80. Coming back with some back pressure now. Tap the brakes. Gears coming up. And again, we will trim out for about 135. Come back with our props to climb power or RPM 2500. It's about 140.
Seattle Center Baron 2450 is type Beechcraft B58 1 miles west of 1 Sierra 2 1100 feet. Request flight following. Baron 2450 Seattle Center. Squawk 0317.
lights
Baron
coming off.
2450.
Gear is up, flaps are up.
Baron 2450 radar contact, 2 miles west of 1 Sierra to 1,900 feet.
We're already at 2200.
2.
Climbing at 2,000 feet, so
Roger,
about
Baron
200 feet.
2450.
We'll start leveling off here. Come back to cruise power. We're looking at about 23 inches on the manifold pressure. And we'll come back to 2,300 on the RPMs. Right now I'm bringing in some down trim just because the aircraft is accelerating and it wants to climb because we were at takeoff trim. So that's looking pretty good here. So we're going to fly up the valley following State Route 530, flying northwest, and we'll probably cut across in this area, fly by Lake Kavanaugh. State Route 530 down below. Alright, so we're going to cut across here. This is Lake Kavanaugh. Off on our altitude, so we'll climb slightly just to get to the 2,500. There's our 2,500. We're flying this flight today completely by hand. We're not going to be using any autopilot.
Baron 2450 contact with the approach on 118.2. Good day. 118.2 Baron 2450. Whitby approach Baron 2450 2,600 feet. Baron 2450 Whitby approach altimeter 29.92. Continue as planned.
Pretty well trimmed up here. Flying hands off right now. Here's Lake Kavanaugh. Lake Kavanaugh, it's a nice little fishing place. Cutthroat trout, some rainbow trout. A big population of 220.
Baron 2450 contact with the approach on 120.7. Good day. 120.7 for Baron 2450. Whitby approach Baron 2450 2,600 feet.
Baron 2450 Whitby approach altimeter 29.92. Continue as planned.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
We know that. We're not going to hit any terrain today, are we? Beautiful though. Nice flying up through these little valleys. fly. Again, I'm basically hands off, trimmed up. Bringing in just a teeny bit of trim for the aileron. So we'll fly through this little valley, and once we get out of these hills and we get towards the ocean or over the ocean, we'll start to turn a little bit northwest. You see right now we're actually a little off course, but that's because we're not following a direct GPS route. We are simply flying this visually, and we're maneuvering through the terrain. But as we pass through this last little notch here, you notice it flattens out, then we've got the ocean. We'll slowly start turning a little bit to the northwest to finally come back and intercept our course for Orcas Island. Flying completely hands off right now. For altitude, we lost a teeny bit of altitude through the pass. Slight adjustment and get back to our 2500. So I'm slowly turning to the northwest now, just a little bit to get a slight intercept angle here to get back on course. Be flying over the town of Burlington, and we'll see Burlington Municipal Airport off our left wing. Once we get up here, Burlington is up in this area. The airport will be over here. I believe this is the Skagit River. Guess I need to pay attention a little bit more so we can stay on our altitude. Of course, I could hit the autopilot and have it do all of it, but we're here to fly the aircraft today, so make sure we stay out of these clouds. We are VFR today. Eventually here we are going to start dropping down because obviously the elevation for Orcas Island Airport is sea level, right around sea level. So we've got 2,500 feet we need to drop. So this is the town of Burlington. Here is Burlington Municipal Airport. airport. We should be intercepting our course here shortly. We should see our needle start to move, and then we'll turn more west to fly the course to Orcas Island. Of course, once we get out over the water here, it won't be long, and we're going to have to maneuver. Because as you'll see, Orcas Island is kind of a horseshoe-shaped island. You see our needle is starting to move, so we're going to start to turn to intercept the course. Orcas Island is a horseshoe-shaped island, and we're going to be flying right up the horseshoe to have our approach. We'll be landing runway 34. Now I'm coming in with just a little bit of back pressure as we turn here, because again, as you know, when we do a turn, we're splitting up that lift component, so it requires a little additional back pressure. So we're going to roll out here. So we're going to be landing runway 34. So let's go ahead and set that on our heading indicator. Flying over Simish Bay right now. This is Simish Point right out here. And I don't know why I'm pulling back on the yoke, but I was. We'll descend to, let's go to about 1100. This is Orcas Island out here, but we need to fly up through the horseshoe. So you can just see the part of the horseshoe right here. We'll be flying up that. We'll be leveling off at 1100 feet. And we'll slowly be decreasing our speed. We're only 13 miles out. Could announce our approach if we can find the airport here. There we go.
Victoria Tower Baron 245.012 miles southeast, 1,100 feet to land.
So we'll level off here at 1100 feet.
Baron 2450 Victoria Tower. Altimeter 29er, 2 wings 254 at 4. Enter left base runway tree 4.
Make left base runway tree for Baron 2450.
This is where the ATC isn't quite perfect. Knowing our location, we're going to basically be doing a right base right now. That's basically what we're flying right now, is a right base, because the runway is over here once we fly up the sound. So this is Obstruction Island, and this might be Bleakley Island. You see our airspeed, we've slowly bled some of that airspeed off. So we'll maintain that right around 140 right now. And once we start to turn up into the sound, this is East Sound, we'll bleed a little more of that airspeed off. This is a state park here on Orcas Island. You see, here's the horseshoe. We're going to be flying up inside the horseshoe. So I'm going to come on with my landing lights at this point. The runway's way in here. Again, I'm coming back with our power a little bit. Start to decrease some of that airspeed. I'm going to come in with 1 notch of flaps right now. We will approach at about 85 knots. Again, the runway is kind of down in this area. We'll fly this completely visual. We have no ILS or anything that we're going to be using today. We're just flying by hand and flying visually. We're looking for the airport.
Clear to land runway tree 4.
We're going to have a little bit of a crosswind
Clear to land runway tree for
from our
Baron
left.
2450.
So here I'm going to lower the gear. We've got 1 more notch of flaps we'll be using. Runway, I believe, is right in here. And I'll come in with that final notch of flaps. We'll get set up on our approach speed. Come in with a little bit of power. Come up with our props to full. really don't want to be descending anymore right now, so we'll definitely level off. You can see here's the airport. So now we'll turn final. Reduce a little more airspeed to get close to our 85 knots. Remember, we're going to have a slight crosswind off our left wing, so it's going to be pushing us left to right. So again, I'm starting to reduce the power a little bit, trying to get trimmed up for our approach speed. A little high. Reduce the power some more to increase our rate of descent. Our airspeed's a little slow.
500.
Looking better. Much better. Come off of the power a little bit. Again, we're a little high. Get lined up with that center line. Narrow little runway. Start our flare. Definitely had better landings than that. I guess any landing you can walk away with is a good one. Come up with our flaps. Landing lights are coming off.
radar contact 2 miles northwest of Whiskey, 49er 900 feet. Altimeter 29.92.
We'll taxi and park, and then we'll get out of the aircraft and I'll show you a little bit of the scenery.
Contact ground on 132.7.
132.7 Baron 2450.
Romeo Sierra automated weather observation 21.
Get our window open here and get a little fresh air. Take a look at a little bit of the scenery while we're taxiing. We'll try to keep it on the taxiway. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with the landing. A little rough on my flare. Usually I'm very gentle. One of the things I take a lot of pride in my flying is greasing my landings. And that one wasn't my best landing. Wasn't bad, but you got to continue to critique yourself. So this custom scenery is also an Orbx scenery. It's a nice little scenery. There's a little air park up in here with some hangars that you can cross the runway and head up, and there's some houses and stuff that have individual hangars. It's kind of neat. Little store, FBO type deal there. And we might as well park right here, I guess. There, let's get our parking brake on, and we'll come back with our mixture. And we'll turn off all of our lights, radios, and then power. So let's get out of the aircraft and we'll take a little look around. So this is Orcas Island by Orbx. Let's get up and take a little look. Nice little scenery. Great for GA flying. I'll show you a little air park up in here. So you can taxi up this little road. You see there's other hangars that you can park. If you look in Google Maps, there's some houses here. that have hangars. So we'll pan down here. Some more hangars over here. You see there's some logging operations taking place. There's a roadway that goes right through here that you'll see traffic traveling on occasionally. But you see we've got some more additional hangars. And there's a marina down here. That's kind of neat. You taxi down to this end of the runway. I think the marina's name, I think it's Brant's. Can't remember. But it's fun approaching this end because you fly in over the marina. I'll pan out here and show you a shot down the runway. So you see it's kind of fun coming into 1-6. So this is Orcas Island. Great little sceneries to have. Again, a blast for GA flying. And especially in this region of Washington State, you've got all kinds of other little airports to fly to. And maybe we'll do a couple additional flights, maybe originating from this airport, and fly to some of the other local airports to show you some of the other great places in here. So this is a scenery that you can take advantage of using quite frequently for operations, for your GA operations anywhere in this vicinity, because there are a lot of other little airports around. Alright, well I guess that finishes this flight. Thank you for flying with me. Until next time, have a good one.